So after I put out yesterday's video, I received a number of comments, none of which were related to the video, but were asking me to talk about a young man called Desmond is Amazing. Oddly enough, someone had in fact linked an article and a subsequent video on Good Morning America on my Discord server's recommended topics section. So I thought, okay, let's find out who Desmond is Amazing is. A quick Google brought up a website. Yeah, a 10-year-old with his own website. And quite the bio. Initially I thought nothing of it, because to me I just see kids who do things that he does as attention seekers, but then there are inherent issues that arise, and one must surely question the parenting style. There is a line between embracing your identity, as a child that is, and being somewhat pushed in a direction or neglected entirely. I also have to wonder if you're even going to school, when you are busy gyrating on a stage in your transvestite outfit in a gay bar for money. The very literal daddy's gonna make it rain. In this instance though, you have to wonder how many of those aforementioned daddies are on a register. Now I do want to be a tad careful. Desmond is a 10 or 11-year-old boy. I do not want to be accused of bullying a kid, and I think there is a very distinct line. I do not take issue with a number of things in his bio. I take no issue that Desmond is an LGBTQ advocate. I take no issue with the fact that Desmond is a transvestite. At the age of 10 or 11, I can't. I had to resist the urge to make an obvious comment that upon looking at Desmond's Instagram, he, or based on the fluid remark he, she, they, ze, or whatever, initially to me looked like a cancer patient. Fashion is one thing, and I know clothes can be somewhat gender non-specific, and that is a direct response to your fluidity short video that I'm not going to play. I'm not even going to link your Instagram because I don't want people to go there and give you abuse. Because I'm sure there are many people who have seen articles, like this one by Milo, that are undoubtedly sending criticism, and some hate, in the direction of yourself and your parents. I would reserve it, the criticism that is, for your parents. If I did not truly believe that you were advocating for LGBTQ rights, I would think you were just another attention-seeking brat poser, like Woe Vicky and the other one that disappeared quickly after it was found out her brother was creating all the lines and skits. But let's just say Woe Vicky for now. Now in the article Milo wrote, there is a reference to what I earlier said about how a 10-year-old boy was dancing on stage for money at an adult gay bar in New York. As Desmond, or drag kid Desmond is Amazing, is a native to Brooklyn. It's unsurprising that Desmond would certainly draw the attention of many of those of the LGBTQ community within New York. And because of his age, understandably people want to use him to elevate the voice of that community. That's understandable. Unfortunately with Milo's article, there's no video, so there's no real way to corroborate this, to validate whether or not this is true. And I know many people would want to dismiss it because it comes from, well, Milo. I, however, upon scrolling through Desmond's Instagram, see some validity to this. So I'm going to read a couple passages from this article because I do think it's important. Drag kid Desmond is Amazing delivered a headlining performance at a sleazy Brooklyn gay bar on the 1st of December, where the 10-year-old boy, so 10, thank you for clearing that up, danced on a stage in a crop top and full face of makeup as a throng of adult men in the audience showered him with dollar bills. The event, called Club Whoa, was hosted at Brooklyn Gay Bar $3 Bill and was promoted on social media. Desmond also celebrated the performance on his own Instagram page, which I can, without showing pictures, confirm to be true because on the 2nd of December Desmond put out a picture that matches the picture at the top of this article of Desmond dressed as Gwen Stefani. And because I did a little digging, I looked up $3 bill on Google and found an image that did in fact match the backdrop to that Instagram picture I mentioned, which again I'm not showing, so I am starting to believe that this performance did in fact take place. Adults who wish to watch a half-naked child dance in a bar could buy tickets on an Eventbrite page, which the venue described itself as a queer-owned and operated "We foster a safe space for love. We respect all human persons as long as those human persons are also respectful to the ones around them." Photos of the event show Desmond in a blonde wig makeup, the Gwen Stefani look I mentioned, collecting monetary tips from adult men in the audience, like a stripper. I would argue, if this was lip-syncing, then maybe it's not like a stripper, because lip-syncing has become quite popular, like air guitarists, who are, I personally think, lame. But that's only because I play these monsters, so perhaps I'm not as inclined to believe that it was like a stripper, more a kid busking. I'm willing to give the innocent side to this, or see it that way, because as empowering as it is for a kid to advocate for LGBTQ rights, kids need pocket money as well, and I don't see a line having yet been crossed, even though this is a bit sleazy, or appears that way. Although, I would point out it is nowhere near as sleazy as the Desmond is Amazing interview on the Pew channel, where he is sat between two gay men, and above him is a picture, a painting, with the word Rohypnol written on it. I can't think of an image more inappropriate to have with two grown adults and a kid sat between them. Just makes me chuckle, I guess. For those who don't know now, I'm going to give a little history about Desmond. Desmond rose to fame when he was 8 years old, during a New York City gay pride event, or parade, and I'm going to show the video or a clip of it now. Quite enlightening, I will admit. As far as I'm concerned, I have no issue with that. Kid getting involved? Brilliant. Although, as the kid has identified as not just gay but also transvestite, the transvestite might be the part that would trigger future generations. I know that there are a number of young children who are transvestite who get involved in these events and promote LGBTQ rights. Fantastic. But as some places have started banning transvestites because they trigger some transgender people, you may want to find another label so that you have a legitimate reason to embrace the LGBTQ label. Which you have the luck of the draw, really. You're a 10-year-old gay kid. Congratulations. At the age of 10. To go back to the article, a day after the performance, one reviewer on Yelp wrote, "I left after seeing a child dance on stage for money at night time. This was on Saturday night and I have been feeling disturbed ever since." Another reviewer said the club had a weird no cell phone policy. Well, isn't it lucky then that Desmond has an Instagram and put pictures of that performance there, and that some in fact were able to take pictures of it, which are linked in Milo's article. Again though, I'm not putting those pictures on this screen. I do apologise, but I'm not someone who wants to be an enabler. I want to point out how I think this is a failing in parenting, because, and as you have noticed, I haven't spoken about the parents. They are mentioned in Desmond's bio. In fact, they are mentioned on the bio to Desmond's website, where they give full support, along with being mentioned in the article, where they are also giving full support. They're mentioned in video interviews with Desmond, again, full support, but we don't see them. They are enablers in this instance, and I firmly believe that to be the case. There is nothing wrong with, again, advocating for things, but as a child, there are things you need to be doing, and bleating on about haters and posing in every different outfit you can find seems a bit counterproductive to growing up and going to school. I also don't think it appropriate, because there is something that the article Milo puts out doesn't mention as much, that you spend an inordinate amount of time performing. I firmly believe you need more time to grow, develop, and learn. It's great what you are doing to support transgender rights, which you have done so proudly, and that's fine. But I do believe you being used to make political statements, like in one of your Instagram videos with you tearing up a poster of Donald Trump, when, I'll be honest, I find it hard to believe a 10-year-old boy can truly understand politics at all, although you are in New York, so at the same time, fuck Trump? The vast amount of time you spend doing all these somewhat grown-up things deters from you being a child and experiencing life as a child. The public appearances, the performances, especially with children, has a very much cliché ending to it, one I would not wish upon you. Oh, and as a kid, having an entire article written on your hate for the Second Amendment, I know you're in New York City and everything, but please, please, don't be so foolish. All in all, I'm quite confused by this child. I'm confused why they are being used to make such big and grand statements when they themselves cannot possibly understand half the things they are advocating for. Not the LGBTQ, I think that's fairly simple. A basic human right, equality, that's fine. Using a kid for politics, being paid to lip sync and perform on stage, there seems to be a moral line there somewhere, which to some I'm sure will be totally squashed on the grounds that a dollar bill is a dollar bill, and who doesn't love a dollar bill? I don't. Pound note, because the pound note is superior. Anyway, if you are curious enough to look up Desmond is Amazing, by all means do so. You have the name. Look at Desmond's Instagram, scroll through, you'll see what has confused and irked me so much. I hope I have shed some light on some of the articles that have been referenced, and you have a greater understanding for why children should not be used in this setting, and why kids should be allowed to be kids, and why parents need to be parents, and not enablers. Because I think there is a bit of enabling going on here, and possibly using. If money's being made, you can be sure the parents are taking a cut, which can only end as well as it did for Gary Coleman. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely Monday, and thank you all for listening.